Welcome to WinSouls TV. This is your host, Jeff Thomas. And today we are going to talk about being a servant. Now, a lot of us have seen specific movies like Remember the Titans or Rocky or any type of underdog movie where the specific individual literally comes from a position to where everybody doubts them. There's even a time and place in the movie where the individual or the main character even doubts himself. But with that, one common characteristic of that type of individual is that they are willing to fight. They are willing to break themselves. They are willing to be a true servant. They are willing to submit to whatever they have to endure in order to get to where they want to be. And that's a very funny thing, because what does the word say about that? From Matthew 20:20 to Matthew 20:26. Let's take a look at that. Then the mother of Zebedee's children came up to him, Jesus, with her sons, and kneeling worshipped him and asked a favor of him. And he asked her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Give orders that these two sons of mine may sit, one at your right and one at your left, in your kingdom." But Jesus replied, "You do not realize what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink, and to be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized?" They answered, "We are able." He said to them, "You will drink my cup, but seats at my right hand and at my left are not mine to give, but they are for those whom they have been ordained and prepared by my Father." But when the 10 heard this, they were indignant at the two brothers. 10 disciples, by the way. And Jesus came to them and said to them, "You know that rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great men hold them in subjection. Not so shall it be among you. Not so shall it be among you. But whoever wishes to be among you must be your servant. And whoever desires to be first among you must be your slave." Now let's break that down a little bit. Let's go back to our movies. Rocky. In those specific situations, in the come up of those specific characters, remember how I mentioned that they were willing to do whatever? They were servants. In the beginning, Rocky was literally, he was fighting to make a living for himself. At the time he was serving himself. But at the same time, when he began to work in the gym under Mickey, he was sweeping the floors. He was mopping the floors. He was taking care of all of the specific people around the gym before he began fighting. Before he began truly fighting, he was cleaning up around the gym, taking care of the people. With Rudy, he put in his due diligence. He had a dream. He was going to be playing at Notre Dame. He would get laid out, get back up again. Get laid out, get back up again. Get laid out, get back up again. But guess what? In the enduring of those specific situations, in the enduring of taking care of the people in their lives, in the enduring of going through the pain and the sacrifices, being a servant during those specific time periods, guess what? And also remaining diligent, what happens is you begin to be someone that people look up to. You begin to be that leader that you saw in all of these other people, whether that was in boxing, whether that was in, wisdom, whether that was in all of these specific things, by serving those people and by taking care of the individuals in your life and by being a great steward of the Lord, of the things that the Lord has given you, and being a servant to him first, by being a servant to everyone else, guess what? You begin to be promoted. And before you know it, you are the lead by being a servant to God. And sometimes it's very, very difficult to understand that, simply because you get so used to serving people so often that when you finally look back, all of these people are coming to Christ because they saw Christ in you by how you were serving them. Oh my goodness, glory be to God. Man, goodness gracious. By being a servant, you open so many doors. And by being not just a servant, but being a diligent servant, doing it with intent, doing it with the sole purpose of serving your Father in heaven. Let's look at another verse. And I use this one a lot simply because I love it. I love it. I love this verse. Proverbs 10:4. He becomes poor who works with a slack and idle hand, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. Now, we can apply that to money. We can apply that to hard work in specific sports. We can apply that to all areas of life. But here, I'm applying it to being a servant. When we apply ourselves as a godly servant, we not only provide like a ripple effect, but we also provide an example of what our Father was doing when he was walking the earth, or his Son, Jesus Christ, was doing when we were walking the earth. And these people get a live and up close example of what our Father is in heaven by us serving them. Never be too high. Never be too high, because pride cometh before a fall. There are a lot of ministers, there are a lot of pastors, there are a lot of evangelists out there that literally is just kind of like, oh, well, I need somebody to hold my Bible for me. Hold on. Here, you hold this Bible and you flip it to whatever verse I need while I'm up on the pulpit. Because guess what? I'm too big to get my fingernails dirty. I don't want to touch my Bible. It's okay. I have you do it for me. They got their heads so far in all of these specific places because of their calling or their gifting, or because of what they do, what they're doing, this, that, and the other, that they're just too good to go out and be a servant or serve other people. They're not acknowledging that it's the Lord that has provided all of those avenues for that individual, not them themselves. So let's rise up. Let's rise up and continue in servantship. And let's move forward as a servant so that he may bless you and continue rising you up to be the leader that you have been ordered and ordained to be. Be blessed.